Hello friends, I am talking to CA final students of new syllabus for the subject of strategic cost management and performance evaluation. So if you are CA final students of this subject SCM and PE, then this video is meant for you. And today in this video, I am going to discuss with you the concept called rank order clustering. This is a new concept called rank order clustering, which I will try to explain today through this video. And those who don't know me, I am CA Rakesh Agrawal from Pune. I am the gold medalist in the subject of cost and management accounting, my dear friends. Most of you might have already studied with me this subject, and some of you might be new to me also. So let me directly proceed to today's discussion. Right, I am repeating, this video is meant for CA final students of SCM and PE only. Dear student friends, ICAI has introduced a new concept in the RTP, revisionary test paper, for May 2021 exam. Those who have gone through this RTP might have noticed that there is something new in this. And this concept which is introduced is called as rank order clustering. And the funny part of it is nowhere mentioned in the ICAI module. It's nowhere there in the module, my dear friends. Right? So it's not available in the module. Right? And it is directly appearing in RTP. Now, as it is appearing in RTP means they may ask, who knows? They may ask a question on this, they may not ask. That choice goes to the institute. What is in our hands? That is in the hands of students and faculty. In our hand is to teach you this, and in your hand is to study it and get ready from exam point of view. Now, moreover, this concept seems to be picked up from engineering syllabus and a bit technical to understand. This concept which we are going to discuss, rank order clustering, it seems to be picked up. That is my guess, that it has been picked up from the engineering syllabus of some mechanical engineering or something. And it is little technical to understand because it requires quantitative technique. Now, I have tried to decode it. Let's see to what extent I can decode or I can make you understand using my teaching experience. So I had to read it twice, thrice to understand it first. And now I am coming out with this video. Now this concept falls under chapter 3. Technically, this concept, if you try to classify, it will go under chapter 3, which is called Lean System and Innovation. So technically, it falls under Lean System and Innovation. And it is more specifically related to cellular manufacturing, if you can recollect. If you have studied this subject already, then you can understand what I'm saying. You know the name of the chapter. And in Lean System, there is a subtopic related to cellular manufacturing. So more specifically, this rank order clustering, this concept will go under cellular manufacturing. Okay. So it will fall here. Now, cellular manufacturing concept says, what is cellular manufacturing? We'll try to recollect. Cellular manufacturing concept says that create the small group of machines called as cells. If you can recollect that concept, it says that create small working cells. This has been referred in JIT also, just in time also. So create small working cells in a U-shaped pattern, so that one supervisor can supervise all the machines. The machine should be put in the cell in a U-shaped pattern in such a manner that the movement of material is minimum, so that you can process the input on one machine, then immediately next machine. So they are arranged in a sequence, in U-shaped sequence, and one supervisor is supervising all these machines. I have explained this concept in my regular lectures, those who have watched the regular lecture videos. So that the movement of machine or material is minimum, and supervision of the work is also easy. With that intention, that small cell is created in a U-shaped pattern. Now it increases this pattern or small cell, it increases the work efficiency also. Means worker can do the work more efficiently, and it also increases the speed of production. It means in less time you can produce more. That is basically the intention. So your non-value added time gets reduced and you can devote more time to actual production. So your production speed also goes up, your output increases. That is basically the intention of your cellular manufacturing. And this rank order clustering also helps in achieving the same purpose. Now rank order clustering is a quantitative tool. So there is some quantitative technique, right? Quantitative tool to decide which machine should be grouped together. Means if there are a number of machines, which machine should be grouped together and put in a cell. Now creating a cell of machine is called technically clustering. Clustering means creating a cluster, creating group of machines and to be put in one cell. And from there this word has come, rank order clustering. But we have to decide a sequence through quantitative technique that which machine should be grouped together. So that is what we are going to learn. Now this clustering is done so that the production flow becomes very smooth and material handling is minimum. That is the intention. Now let us take an example of 5 components. I am taking an example of 5 components to be produced on 5 different machines. I am taking an example of 5 components which are to be produced on 5 different machines, and let us try to cluster these machines into a small working cell using this quantitative technique. Okay, so I'll put this example in front of you. First, let us understand what this example means, what this data means. There is some table here and I will fill up the remaining columns also, remaining columns and rows. But first understand this. P1 is a part 1, just one part, name of one of the parts which is to be manufactured. P1 is just one of the part which is to be manufactured. P2 is another part to be manufactured. P3 is part number 3 to be manufactured. P4, P5. So these are 5 parts or 5 components to be produced. And these are machines, 5 machines, M1, M2, M3, M4, M5. These are 5 machines which will be used to manufacture these 5 parts or components. Actually, you have to imagine a very big assembly line industry. Suppose I have just taken 5 parts and 5 machines, but if you imagine Tata Motors, the company which manufactures the trucks, cars and buses. Now you know for one car how many components and parts are required. Might be thousands of components and parts are required, out of which some of the parts are purchased from outside and some critical parts and components are manufactured by themselves. So for such a assembly line industry where huge number of components and parts required, let it be automobile industry or let it be electronic goods industry, where components parts are produced and then they are assembled together, right, to produce the final product. So when you manufacture so many variety of parts and they require variety of machines to be manufactured, then you have to do the grouping of machines. Actually, when I had visited Tata Motors, they had production department 1, production department 2, 3, 4, 5. So they had grouped the machines in a particular manner so that the parts can be manufactured on different group of machines or different machine cells. So that is what we are talking about. I have taken a very simple example, a small example, 5 parts, 5 machines. In practical life, it could be so many thousands of parts and thousands of hundreds of varieties of machines. Anyway, now what this J stands for, I am using the same notations which ICAI have used. So we will not discuss why they used J, why they used I. We won't discuss all this. We will not go into this quarrel. Whatever institute has used, I am using the same notation. Actually, J stands for these parts, P1, P2, P3. Actually, these are columns. You can see this is column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5. So J stands for columns and I stands for machines, that is machines are in the rows. So I indicates rows and J indicates columns, that's all. Okay. So institute has used these two notations, J for columns, I for rows. Now let us understand what this 111 values mean. This one value means only thing is that P1 part 1 requires service of M1 also, machine M1 and M3. That's all. So this value 11 means 1 doesn't have much significance. It only means that part 1 requires to be processed on machine M1 and machine M3. Similarly, part P2 requires to be processed on machine M2 and machine M4. This is the meaning. Is it clear? Part P3 is required to be processed on only machine M4, machine 4. Part P4 is required to be processed on machine M3 and M5. And part P5 is required to be processed on only machine M2. This is the meaning of this data. And this data which is appearing in front of you, this data will be given to you in the question. So whatever is appearing will be provided to you in the question. And now whatever I am going to do further is the solution. Is that clear? So this type of table will be given to you and you will be asked to do rank order clustering with the help of this data. So whatever I have put on the screen is available data given in the question. Now we will start the procedure. I will start with step 1. Basically it's a quantitative tool, as I said, so it will be solved in step-by-step manner. First step, second step. So we'll have to keep on following the steps till the time we get the final solution, which I will tell you. So this is the data. Now I am moving towards the solution. See what appears on the screen. Something appeared as BWJ. J stands for columns. Now what is this BW? So BW stands for binary weight. I will just explain what institute means. So from where they got the word binary weight, don't ask me that, because I am not an expert in it. Binary weight of columns we have to calculate. BWJ means you have to calculate binary weight for J means for columns, for 5 columns. Now, how to calculate it? If there are 5 columns, then 5 minus 1, that is 4. From 4 you will start, 5 minus 1. If there are 7 columns, then 7 minus 1 you will start from 6. Means what? Just check. In the column of P1, I am writing 2 raised to 4. Now, you have to take 2 raised to 4. Now 4 is what? 5 columns minus 1 is 4. 2 raised to 4. And you will go on reducing by 1 by 1. Means 2 raised to 3. Then 2 raised to 2. 2 raised to 1. And 2 raised to 0. This is called binary weight. How we decided it? There were 5 columns. So we took 5 minus 1. That is 4. Then minus again 1. So once you get this 2 raised to 4, then 2 raised to 3, 2 raised to 2, 2 raised to 1 and 2 raised to 0. That is what you have to do. If there are 7 columns, the starting point will be 2 raised to 6, then 2 raised to 5, 2 raised to 4 and so on. Is that clear? And this you have to write in respective columns. Now, you have to write the value of 2 raised to 4. Actually, they are taking 2 raised to 4, 2, and that is a binary number. Therefore, they might be calling it as binary weight. I don't know. Don't ask me the logic. Why 2 raised to 4 only? Why not 3 raised to 4? Okay, don't ask me that. I cannot answer. I'm just explaining what institute has done. And as I told you, this might have been taken from engineering syllabus. Anyway, 2 raised to 4 means 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, 4 times. So multiply 2 into 2, 4, 4 into 2, 8, and 8 into 2 will be 16. So I'll write that value here. 2 raised to 4 is equal to 16. Then 2 raised to 3 will be naturally is equal to 8. 2 into 2 into 2. 2 raised to 2 value is 4. 2 raised to 1 value is 2. And anything raised to 0 is mathematically 1. Anything raised to 0 is called 1. So 2 raised to 0 will become 1. Is that okay? This is called binary weight of columns. Now see what appears on the screen. Something appears as DE of I. I means row. And this is nothing but D stands for decimal equivalent. I've defined it here. DE stands for decimal equivalent of row. Now how to calculate decimal equivalent of row? How to calculate decimal equivalent of a row? Now check. In this row, machine M1, service of machine M1 is required only for part P1. Only for part P1. And binary weight of part P1 is 16. So 16 into 1. Into 1 means value will remain unchanged, my dear friends. 16 into 1, value will remain 16. This 16 I am writing here. Are you getting it? So how we calculate a decimal equivalent? Is binary weight of that column into 1. Into 1 means value will remain unchanged. Now see for second row, M2. Service of M2, machine 2 is required for two parts, part P2 and part P5. So this binary weight 8 into 1 plus 1 into 1, binary weight into that 1, and the summation is to be taken. 8 into 1 is 8, 1 into 1 is 1, so 8 plus 1, the value is 9. Are you getting it? This is for machine M2. Now I am going row wise. This calculation is to be done row wise. I is row. M3. Services of M3 is used by part P1 and part P4. So binary weight 16 into 1 plus 2 into 1. Now technically it is 16 into 1 plus 2 into 1. That is 2. So 16 plus 2 will be 18. Now what I'll be doing from next time, try to understand. For machine M4, M4 machine is used for manufacture of part P2 and P3. Now if you multiply by 1, the values will remain same. So what I'll do, I'll just take the total of 8 plus 4. Are you getting it? See, multiplying by 1 mathematically and then adding together, by multiplying by 1, the value will remain unchanged. So I'll go by simple way now here onwards, because we have to repeat this process so many times. So next time I will say 8 plus 4. But technically the mathematical formula is a summation. Summation of 8 into 1 plus summation of this 4 into 1. That is binary weight into that weightage 1. Technically it is like this. It is summation of this. Technically. But for simplicity, if these two parts are using the service, I will take the total of binary weight of these two parts. That is 8 plus 4, 12. So that will become simple. So here onwards I will explain like this. I will not go into mathematical jargons. Okay. Now M5. Machine 5 service is used only by P4 and the binary weight of P4 is 2. So I will write 2. Is that clear? See, only one step you understand, then remaining steps are similar. We have to repeat the similar calculations for remaining steps. Now see what appears on the screen. Rank. You have to rank them from highest decimal equivalent to lowest. Meaning, if you check this column, highest decimal equivalent is 16, so we'll give it rank 1. No, not 16. 18. 18 is highest value, so rank 1. 16 is second highest, so rank 2. 12 is third highest, so rank 3. 9 is fourth highest, so rank 4. And this is fifth highest, so rank 5. Okay. You will start from highest value of decimal equivalent, highest value to lower value. And you will assign the rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that clear? So I will now assign the rank. For 18, highest value rank 1, 16 rank 2, 12 is rank 3, 9 is rank 4, and 2 is rank 5. Now the question further says, suppose it happens that 12 value is here also and 12 value is here also. Means there is a tie. The decimal equivalent value of two machines is same. Then you can arbitrarily assign the rank, like 1, 2, you can give anything 3 and anything 4. Either you can write 3 here and 4 here, or 3 here and 4 there. It means arbitrarily you can choose any one first and anything next if the decimal equivalent value is same, coincidentally. If it is same, don't worry. Just assign the rank in a sequence, but don't assign same rank. Don't assign rank 3, 3. Don't assign rank 3, 3 even if the decimal equivalent value is same. So you have to give the next rank based on your choice. Absolutely your choice. It won't make any difference. Is that clear? It won't make any difference if by chance the decimal equivalent value becomes the same. Now what is to be done after this? Okay, this process will get repeated. So don't worry much that in first step you might not have understood everything. Doesn't matter. In second step you will understand, because this process will get repeated again and again. Now see what is to be done. This rank 1 is for machine M3. So machine M3 I will write first in the next slide. Are you getting it? We'll have to rearrange the machines. So M3 will go to first place. This second rank means M2 will go to second place. Means below in the second row. this third rank means machine M4 will come in third row. M4 will come in third row. This fourth rank means M2 will go to fourth row, and fifth rank will remain, it is already in the fifth row. So M5 was already in the fifth row. So you will rearrange the machines depending upon their rank. Rank 1 will go up, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Is that clear? Now, while means in the next slide or in the next step, you'll have to prepare this table again. You'll have to prepare this table again. Okay, that is what is quantitative technique. It is called iterative technique. Means you have to do iterations. Iterations means trials and errors. So you have to rearrange them. Now, when I will rearrange, I will write this entire value of machine M3 here at the first place. It means machine M3 is required to process P1 and P4. This will remain as it is naturally. Service of M3 is required to process P1 and P4, two parts. So that will remain same. Like second rank machine, that is M1 is required to process P1. So this value 1, 1, which is given in the matrix, these values will remain same for machine and parts, but sequence will change. Okay. So I am taking you to next slide. Understand in next slide what will happen. M3 will go to row 1. M1 will go to row 2. Third rank, this will go to third row. This will go to fourth row, and this will remain in fifth row. Is that okay? And we will rearrange and we will recalculate the value in next step. So I am taking you to next step. See this next step. What I have done. M3 has gone up. This was rank 1. Then rank 2, rank 3, rank 4, rank 5. And 1, 1 values of respective machine will remain in the respective column of the parts. Is that okay? Now we'll perform step 2. Now we'll perform step 2. Now what we'll be doing? Check. Earlier we had calculated binary weight of columns. Now I will calculate binary weight of row. Understand the change. Earlier I had calculated binary weight here of the columns. Now in the next step I will calculate binary weight of row, that is binary weight of machines. Are you getting it? Now coincidentally machines are also 5. There are 5 machines coincidentally. See, it is not compulsory that number of parts and number of machines should be same. I have taken 5 by 5 matrix. It could be 5 by 8 matrix. It could be 12 by 10 matrix. Are you getting it? So there is no compulsion that number of rows and columns should be equal. There could be any number of rows and any number of columns. Is it clear? In automobile industry, as I said, you have to manufacture 1000 parts and there might be 20 machines to manufacture 1000 parts. So the matrix will be 1000 by 20. Okay. So in our example, which I have taken for explanation, coincidentally machines are also 5. As machines are 5, I will start here with 5 minus 1 means 4. So I will start here with 2 raised to 4, 2 raised to 3, 2 raised to 2, 2 raised to 1 and 2 raised to 0. Is that okay? Binary weight is 2 raised to. Total number of machines minus 1. From there you will start. So 2 raised to 4, 2 raised to 3, 2 raised to 2, 2 raised to 1 and 2 raised to 0. And we'll write the values now. 2 raised to 4 is equal to 16, 2 raised to 3 is 8, 2 raised to 2 is 4, 2 raised to 1 is 2 and anything raised to 0 is 1. Now, so row wise you have calculated binary weight. Now we have to calculate this decimal equivalent. So decimal equivalent will be calculated for each column now. So DEJ means decimal equivalent for J. J means for columns. Now you know how to do it. Now for this column, P1 column, P1 requires use of 2 machines, M3 and M1. So 16 into 1 plus 8 into 1. 16 into 1 plus 8 into 1. Now indirectly you know what I'll do. Mathematically it is 16 into 1 plus 8 into 1. Logically it is 16 plus 8. Correct? So 16 plus 8 I will write in that column, that is 24. 16 plus 8 is 24. Are you getting it? Now second column, this P2 column, it requires the use of machine M4 and M2. So I will take the total of 4 plus 2. Correct? 4 plus 2 is 6. Got it? Now P3 column, it requires use of only machine M4, and the value of M4, that is binary weight, is 4. So I will just write 4. Okay, I'm going slowly so that you can understand. This part P4, this column, this requires use of machine M3 and M5. The binary weight of M3 is 16 and this binary weight is 1. So 16 plus 1, that is 17. And part P5 requires use of only machine M2 and the binary weight of machine M2 is only 2. So I will just write 2. Got that? Now I will give column wise rank. So I am writing the rank here. Now you know highest value is here. So rank 1 goes here. Correct? I am now assigning the rank. So rank 1 goes to 24. Rank 2 will go to 17. Third rank will go to value 6. Fourth rank will go to 4 only and fifth rank will go to 2. Got that? So you have given the rank. This is step 2. Now you know what is to be done. And considering the rank, we have to reshuffle the columns now. These ranks are given to the columns. So this column will remain on first place only. But this column, P4 column, this will come to second position, rank 2. P3 will remain in rank 3, P4 will remain, this P3 will remain rank 4 in same position, and P5 is the last column only. So it's already rank 5. Only one column you have to shift, P4 you have to shift to second place. So now we will reshuffle the columns. Earlier we had reshuffled the rows. Now we will reshuffle the columns depending upon the rank. So rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And while reshuffling, like P4 column, these two values will also come here, the second place, right? Because that you cannot change. How you can change it? If part P4 requires use of machine M3, P4 requires use of machine M3 and M5. That you cannot change. It is not in your hand. So shift the whole column with entire values. Okay, shift the whole column with entire values. So in next step, I am reshuffling the columns now. Now it is here. I have reshuffled. In exam, you will have to reshuffle and prepare this table again. This P4 position has changed. So this has been readjusted. Now we will again calculate binary weight of columns. See, means first time you had calculate in first step, you had calculate binary weight of column. Then in second step, you did it for a row. Now again for a column. So I am calculating binary weight of J, means of columns. And as you know, as 5 columns are there, 5 columns means 5 minus 1, 4. So 2 raised to 4, 2 raised to 3, 2 raised to 2, 2 raised to 1, 2 raised to 0. Same steps now. That is 16, 8 values, right? 2 raised to 4 is 16, 2 raised to 3 is 8, 2 raised to 2 is 4, 2 and 1. 2 raised to 0 is 1. Again same process. Now naturally what we'll calculate? We'll calculate decimal equivalent for each row. Decimal equivalent for I, means for the row. Now you know it, what is to be done. For this row, machine M3, these two parts are produced, P1 and P4. So total of these two, 16 and 8. Total of 16 and 8 will be 24, correct? Now, second row. Machine M1 is used only for P1 and the binary weight is 16. So we'll write 16 here. Okay. Then third row. P2 and P3, two parts are produced here whose binary weight is 4 and 2. So 4 plus 2. I am writing the value 6. I hope you are observing it. I am writing the value of decimal equivalent. Then this row, fourth row, is that is machine M2 is used for part P2 and P5 whose binary weight is 4 and 1. So 4 plus 1, 5. And last one, this one. This machine is used only to manufacture part P4 whose binary weight is 8. So I am writing the value 8. Got it? As I said, it will get repeated. So we'll come to know. Now we'll assign the rank. Rank based on decimal equivalent. So first rank goes to the value 24. Second rank goes to value 16. Third rank will go to value 8. And as I said, if there is a tie in the value, assign the rank on arbitrary basis, right? Based on your choice. Then fourth rank and fifth rank. Now you know what is to be done. Right? Don't get frustrated. This type of question requires patience. Means now these two are rank 1 and 2. So position of M3, M1 will remain same. It won't change. This rank 3 machine, it will come here, third position, and fourth and fifth position will remain same. So only one machine you have to shift. M5 you have to shift below M1 at rank number 3, means row number 3. So machine M5 will go to row 3. Right? Row 1, row 2 will remain same. Row 3, machine M5 will come. And then row 5 and row 6 based on the rank. So I'm going to step 4 and I will be rearranging the rows as per the rank. So I have rearranged these rows as per the rank. M5 I have taken to third place. So matrix will get reshuffled, my dear friends. Correct? Matrix got reshuffled. Now just now we had calculated the binary weight of the row. So now we'll calculate binary weight of the columns. Sorry, binary weight of the row now. Columns we had calculated just now. So binary weight of row. Now you know there are 5 rows again. 5 rows means 5 minus 1. So we'll start with 2 raised to 4, 2 raised to 3, 2 raised to 2, 2 raised to 1, 2 raised to 0. This you know now. Value is 16, 8, 4, 2 and 1. Okay. Now we have to calculate decimal equivalent. Decimal equivalent for each row. Correct? Now you can also do it. You know, for this column, these two machines are used. For P1, part P1, machine M3 and M1 is used, whose binary weight is 16 and 8. So 16 plus 8, 16 plus 8, value is 24. Value of decimal equivalent is 24. For this column, we use these two machines. So binary weight of these two is 16 and 4. So 16 plus 4 is 20. Got it? I've repeated every time so that it goes in your hard disk. Third column, these two machines are used. The total of binary weight 2 plus 1 is 3. Then P3 part, only machine M4 is used, whose binary weight is 2. So I'm writing 2. And P5 uses machine M2, whose binary weight is 1. So I will just write 1. Done. Now assign the rank. Give the rank to the columns. Now rank is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now you will stop because rank is same. And your parts are also already arranged in the same rank. So what you will reshuffle now? It is already in the same sequence of the rank. Correct? So here your trial and error stops. It means when your trial and error will stop, when the column wise rank or row wise rank, whichever happens first, either row wise rank will be same or column wise rank will be same. When the rank of the columns is in the same sequence or of the row, if suppose the rank of the row is same, then also you can stop. Rank, not binary weight, rank. Rank which is based on decimal equivalent. When the rank of either the rows or of the column is in the same sequence, there your trial and error will stop. It means step 4 is the last step now. Now you will say that, okay, this mathematics is done. What we have achieved? What we have achieved by doing this mathematics? What is to be understood now? So that is what I am explaining now. Actually the data got reshuffled and rearranged. Now you will notice, check this, I'll just change the color so that it looks better in the red color. See, you will notice these three machines, that is machine M3, M1 and M5 is used only for these two parts. See this cluster created here. Are you getting? These three machines are used only for manufacture of two parts, P1 and P4. And check these two machines, machine M3 and M2 is used for manufacture of these three parts, that is P2, part 3, part P2, P3 and P5. That is this cluster. So this will be visible to you by observations, means they will get reshuffled in such a manner that machine and parts will go at one place. The parts which requires the use of common machine will go to one place, and those parts which require the use of other common machines will go to another place. So this will help you to do clustering. So what I'll be doing now, the final answer is what? This was the calculation. The final answer is we will put these three machines in cell 1 and these two machines in cell 2. Machine M3, M1, M5 will put in machine cell 1, and machine M4 and M2 we will put in machine cell 2. And what we'll achieve by doing that? First of all, you got this, the meaning, and the final answer is this, that is clustering, rank order clustering. Cell 1 will have, and cell 2, we are going to create two cells. Cell 1 will have machine M3, M1 and M5. And which parts will be manufacturing in this cell? Only P1 and P4 parts will get manufactured in cell 1. And in cell 2, machine cell 2, this cell or cluster means one and the same. Cell means cluster. You have clustered or grouped the machine. From there the word has come, clustering. In cell 2 or cluster 2, you will put machine M4 and M2, and you will manufacture these three parts in cluster 2 or cell 2, that is P2, P3 and P5. I hope you are getting it. I'll go back to that previous slide. Just check this. Just check this. These three machines are put in one cell and these two parts are manufactured just by observation. That was cell 1, cell 1. This you will put in cell 2, and in cell 2 you will manufacture these three parts. This is the cluster which is getting created. This you have to visualize from your previous table. Okay. So this is the clustering done. Now you will say, what we have achieved? My dear friends, for manufacture of these two parts, you have to remain only in cell 1. See, P1 has to be processed on all the three machines, no? And P4 is also to be processed in all three machines. Now suppose if machine 5 was in this cell, then what you have to do? Suppose originally you have not planned like this and machine 5 is in another cell. Then you have to move this part from this cell to another cell. Get it done from there and bring it back here. So material will move from one cell to another. We want to avoid that movement because movement time is unnecessary time. It is a wastage of time. It is a non-value added activity. And your production flow, speed of production will reduce. Now what will happen? Both these parts will get processed on all these machines which are in one cell only. So production speed will increase. Are you getting the point? The purpose behind rank order clustering. And all these three parts will be processed only on these two machines. And both these machines are in the same cell. So you don't have to move these parts from one cell to another cell. It means you are just grouping the machines which are required to produce the common parts are put in one cell. That is the purpose behind this. I hope you got the purpose because it is related to cellular manufacturing and it comes under the topic lean system and innovation. Now I have already told you this note that in case if there is a tie at rank due to same decimal equivalent, take the rank on arbitrary basis. I have already told you this. Okay. Anyway, we didn't face with that situation, but in case if you face with that situation, you can take arbitrary. Now what we have achieved, okay, by this, as I told you, the movement of material is lowest, and speed of production will increase. That is what finally we will achieve by doing the clustering. Now just about our website, if you want to buy any of our video lectures of regular batches or amendment batches or revision batches, then you may visit our website, right? From where you can buy like Amazon, Flipkart. You can do it online. You can do the online purchase by making online payments. Our website is carakeshagrawal.in, my dear friends, right? carakeshagrawal.in. Just for your information, those who are new to me. And friends, I hope that this discussion was useful to you and it will help you to update yourself. Okay friends, thank you. Thanks for listening carefully. You can see this video any number of times if you want. And then using these guidelines, you can solve any number of questions. Only number of rows and columns will change, or number of columns and number of rows will change, but the procedure will remain the same. Okay friends, bye bye. I hope this will be useful to you. Okay.